Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another Gunpla review, and today I'm taking a look at the full mechanics Sword Calamity Gundam from Gundam Seed. More specifically, Gundam Seed MSV, because this is more of a offshoot design as opposed to something that was featured in the anime itself. Of course, you would have seen the full mechanics Calamity Gundam before, that was a full normal release. Also on here we would have seen the full mechanics Ale Calamity Gundam, that one was P Bandai, and you can tell from this box right here that monochromatic red, this was Premium Bandai too. So if you do want to get one of your own, you can get yours exactly where I got mine, and that is through those awesome people over at Buyee. Link in the description. Here we go. When it comes to the build of the full mechanics Sword Calamity Gundam right here, it's pretty much 90% the same as what we would have seen with the standard Calamity Gundam, but back then I didn't actually do the builds in the videos. So if you don't know what a full mechanics kit is like, at least one of these Seed full mechanics kits, they're somewhat visually like a master grade on the outside, but very high grade-esque on the inside. Even a little bit simpler than some high grades we'd be seeing nowadays. Basically, the whole thing is pretty much hollow besides the joint, so inside the armor there really isn't much besides what's holding it together. Unlike some older 1/100 kits, there is no polycaps in this build, it's plastic on plastic, which does hold up decently well. But for the most part, it is a pretty simple build. All the knobs and everywhere you're going to be cutting this out are in fairly visual places. That does mean that combined with the fact that orange plastic does mark quite a little bit, you're going to have to be an extra bit careful with this. This is definitely stripped back and simple, which is a little bit of a double-edged sword. It means it's a quick build, there's not much to fail in the build, but there's not really much interesting going on while you're building it. Just simple joints, armor parts, and everything just has its end goal, just to be visual or to move. When it does come to what's new in here, we've got some brand new shoulders which house the big beam boomerangs. These build up very nicely, same as the rest of the kit, but there's just something nice about the shoulders. There's some cool venting in grey inside of them, and detail wise, even though they are quite simplistic build wise, like the rest of the kit, the payoff is very nice. We also have some weapons which mount around on the rear of the forearms. These build up nicely too. They've got some moving claws in them, but again, for the most part, quite simple, but then again, Bandai has pulled it off nicely. When it comes to the head on this kit, it's simple, pretty much like what you would see with a high-grade kit. There is no color separation in the eyes, but the eyes are clear parts underneath in case you want to do some kind of LED customization with this, but otherwise it's just stickers for the eyes. All the parts are basic enough, and we do have a couple of stickers for the cameras in the front and rear of the head. But as for what makes this the Sword Calamity, we do have a couple of giant Schwertgewehrs, or whatever they're called in here, those big old Seed Buster swords. Now be careful with these. The red plastic is ridiculously brittle. It's that kind of glossy, shiny kind of plastic you see sometimes on Bandai's kits. Also, there's a lot of layering up to be done here, but what you do get in the end is quite nice. And speaking of extras, you do get two little action bases in here as well for supporting these weapons. And these are the newer style. I'm not sure if they're the action base 6s, but they're not going to hold up the kit, but they'll definitely help with the weapons. So finally, in the end, this right here is what the kit looked like. Now, I do feel when it comes to kits like this, which are in a bright color like orange, they tend to look a little bit kind of plain when finished. All the detail is lost in there, and when it comes to full mechanics, there is a lot of detail. So I did panel line this up in my shelf display kind of way, aka I only panel lined the front, not the back, and I did add on a lot of the, well, not a lot, a few of the stickers that are included too, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. Again, primarily in the shelf display way, as in just right on the front. Anyway, that's a build, let's check it out. So jumping now into the aesthetics, and all I can say is I take a look at, well, a lot of Gundam model kits, and this has to be one of the most unique color schemes I have ever seen. Orange Gundams are very rare, but Gundams that are predominantly in orange, not just on the chest, are even rarer. This is a real visual treat right here. So once again, I will mention this has been panel lined, which is very sorely needed with this kind of color scheme, and I did throw on some of the decals as well because they do help a lot with this sea of orange. It breaks it up nicely and makes it look a little bit more premium. Overall, this really pops. It's unique. It's got those awesome Calamity Gundam proportions, just now in a ridiculous new color scheme. Not that the original color scheme wasn't ridiculous enough already. Honestly, pretty damn cool. So zooming in on some of the details, and although this is a simplistic-ish kit in the way full mechanics kits are, it still visually looks quite striking. The eyes, of course, are stickers as well as the head cameras, but we do have full color separation where it counts, like in the chest area. Some great looking details up on the shoulders, those rear armor weapons on the legs, pretty much everywhere has great detail and color separation, which I will mention again, does need pan lining pretty bad. Overall though, one incredible looking kit, just like the Calamity always was, and that orange color just adds to the awesome flavor. Cheese flavor. So when it does come to the color correcting stickers in here, these are just the usual foils. Like I mentioned, eye, stickers, and head cameras. We do have this red one here, which somehow I did seem to miss. And that's because this sticker sheet is straight from the regular Calamity Gundam, and I think it's for using on that. Not for this kit at all. We also do have sticker style decals in here. I only used a few of them on the kind of, well, bigger places and more obvious places, like the chest and the shoulders, and these don't really stand out as much as I thought they would. Now, they do stand out. If you get in super close, you'll see the kind of little rectangle around the actual decal itself does stand out because these are stickers, not water slides or anything like that. But I did try actually cutting one out, being this triangular one right here, because it was easy to do, at least towards the triangular end. And yeah, you can kind of do that if you do want to take away that stickery aspect, but it would be difficult enough on detailed designs like these small ones. Again, they do stand out a little bit against the various different colors of plastic, but on the whole, but if you do pop them side by side, they do add a lot of character to the kit, so it's a little bit of a trade-off. There is a little bit of a border around them, but they do look great. And speaking of spins anyway, there's the full 360 spin, so you can see every detail about this for yourself. This is very nice. It's got a lot of nice flat yet pointy armor panels all over the place in that real Calamity Gundam kind of way. Those big flared out shoulders because of the beam boomerangs also looking great. I'll take those off as well so you can see what it looks like without them, just to kind of get a bit of an idea, as well as the weapon sections around on the back of the arms. Overall, this is a nice looking Gundam. This color scheme is like nothing else, and I've never really built anything that has this sort of visual aesthetic, so it's almost just worth it for that alone. It's a really unique and cool looking Gundam. So finally jumping into a bit of size comparison, there it is beside a standard size Gundam being the Oryx 78-2, Master Grade 3.0, and the Master Grade The Origin. So as you can see, Calamity quite big and a little bit taller than average. There it is beside the two most recently released Master Grade kits, that is the Narrative on the left and the Sinanju Steinverka on the right, and as you can see these dwarf it a little bit because those are some big kits. Finally then beside a couple of non-Master Grade 1/100 kits being the Full Mechanics Gundam Ariel and the Reborn 100 Gundam Lindworm. So jumping on into the accessories, and here's everything that comes with the Full Mechanics Sword Calamity. Now what we get in here is the giant big swords. We've got some cool beam effects for using with those, as well as the beam effects that are already attached. We've got the beam boomerangs, these little claw weapons which come off the back of the arms, and we do have a base adapter, one alternate set of fingers, well, we've got two attached onto it already, and finally we do have a pair of small action bases for supporting the heavy weapons that are included in this kit. So first up when it comes to the weapons in here is the main event, or should I say main events, because we do have two of these. These are the anti-vessel swords, and quite similar but not exactly the same as what we would have seen with the Sword Strike Gundam. So basically we've got that bladed section up top, we've got some nice grey coming through from underneath there. These white pieces are fully color separated and everything looks pretty good and it is nice enough to put together. I will mention though, these beams are bending a little bit, like they just don't fit quite perfectly, so they may need to be mildly modified for that. We do have beams in the bottom, beams in the front section, and these look to me like they might just be the kind of effects that glow under blue or black light, and yes they are. So that is what they look like normally. Throw a little bit of light and they really do fluoresce. Again, this is just blue LED light. If this was black light, they would glow a whole lot more. So before I get these attached, I'm going to get it up on an action base. I will mention the action base is not included, just the adapter for up top. Getting this attached is simple. The adapter attaches onto the crotch area like this, attaches into an action base just like so, and there it is up on it so far, doing quite well. So far feeling okay, but I do recall this being a little bit, well, touchy at times with the regular Calamity Gundam. Getting these big old swords attached is the usual kind of way for these swappable style fingers. That is, you pop off the fingers. Be careful with these. These things are hard to get off, and if they go flying, these fuckers bounce. If they hit a hard floor, they're gone. But yeah, once you manage to get past that aspect, getting them attached onto the hands is simple. They just slide on in. There's a little bit of a nice groove for that to happen. Popping them on is simple, and these arms are strong enough to support them, which is always very, very nice. Getting into a pose is simple enough. Even though the hands can support these weapons, the same cannot really be said about the base adapter. It likes to give up, and when the side skirts popped out while posing it, but otherwise it worked out well, and this is what it looks like in a pose. This is badass. It's cool. These are nice weapons, and well, they're about to get a little bit cooler. And that absolutely awesome thing is this right here. So this is a double beam effect. So this attaches in just where the beam effects would have been before, just like so, into one like this. Then you have to align the second sword right up beside it in order to attach it to have two beams going off together, as in both swords are attached together by this beam effect. This is quite difficult. Lining up the arms is quite difficult on this, and I had to kind of do it off camera because it was impossible to do it while stretching past the camera. This is what you get in the end, and it is ridiculously cool. I feel like there is really only one pose you can pull off with this unless you kind of wield this one-handed, and it is a little bit on the awkward side to accomplish, but once you do, it does look really cool. This is a unique effect on a unique colored Gundam, and I've seen nothing like this before. This is quite awesome. Oh, and once you get into the pose, it holds, and it looks good too. So when these are not in use, you can just pop them off just like so, get rid of the beam effects, and they can be attached around back on these really cool little arm sections. Now these can move out just as far as that point, as well as rotate like so. These then attach into these little holes like that right there, and nicely enough, this goes through and kind of matches with this little section that's already on the sword already. So that's a pretty cool aspect. Also, we'll mention in the instructions, these beam effects are attached in some of the images just like that. Like this is a quick use weapon for when this is pivoted over the shoulder like so, and when it's not in use, you can just get it all the way out of the way like that. So the next pair of weapons we have in here are these beam boomerangs, and these are such a nice color. I'm used to the usual kind of Justice white and pink ones. This is very, very nice and unique. Again, the same sort of glowing beam effect attached into them. They can be attached into the hands like so, but they do feel a little bit on the awkward side, like the pressure is just a little too much. Then they can be attached in like that for when they're being held in the hands. When they're not being held in the hands, that's where the included action base comes into play, and this is very interesting. The attachment point for these is in here, so it's kind of out of the way. So when you're attaching this onto an action base, it attaches in at a funny kind of way like this, keeping the action base out of the way. However, that does kind of limit the kind of posing options somewhat, because, you know, the only rotation is like that, but you can still kind of pivot with the actual action base. It's unique, definitely, and tucked away nicely too. So you can kind of get your flying beam boomerang into a pose again, a little bit awkward. There we go. And your sword Calamity in the back like so, like it's giving it a little bit of a throw. When these are not in use, you just pull out the beam like that, and they attach into the shoulders just like that, and like that. Next up in here, we've got a pair of these right here. These are the Panzereisen. So pretty much again, like what we would have seen on the Sword Strike Gundam, just with a nice new design. These are kind of shield, but at the same time, an offensive long-range weapon on a wire. The wire in here, although it is thin, is quite strong, which is a little bit on the kind of surprising side. And we do have these extending blade sections right here, which pop out like this and like this. Click into position, and they can open up like that. So this is a cool little kind of grabby claw kind of piece. Nice. Getting these attached onto the robot is very simple. You just remove these sections here, which are the storage version of these parts. Then you attach on the ones which have the wire attached just like so. And I will mention that even though this, like I said already, this wire is quite thin, it does hold this up no problem at all. It'll bounce around a little bit if you move it, but otherwise rock solid and holds on. When they're not in use, you just have to remove the wired segment from underneath just like so, and then they store onto the arm, onto the attachment, one of these guys right here. Super simple, holds on well. Lastly then, this kit does have armor schneiders, which is pretty hilarious, and they are stored in the side of the leg right here. So this little panel section, it just opens up like so, and there they are contained inside, so you can pop them out. The blade is a different color to the handle, which is a very nice touch, and speaking of nice touches, it does have GATX133 molded into the blade, and that molding is absolutely microscopic. Nice. Attaching this in is exactly the same as the big old swords. There is a little bit of a notch in the handle which slides on into the fingers just like so, which keeps it upright and in the right position just like this. Thankfully that does not affect it being held in reverse grip, so you can flip it and use it reverse grip like this, which is exactly what I'm going to do, and that is what it looks like right there. Again, the color separated blade, where it attaches into the leg, and the fact that you can actually flip it as well means that this is very well thought out. This is a cool little armor schneider. So anyway, that right there is it for the review, and if you're wondering where the articulation in this review is, well, there's no real need to do it. It's exactly the same as the standard Calamity Gundam, so if you want to know what kind of moves it can pull off, you can check out that review. Now, I will mention there are a couple of loose parts. This is the kind of kit that does loosen up over time too, so be very, very gentle with it. It doesn't really hold up to a lot of posing that well. However, right out of box as it is right now, it's holding its weapons perfectly and doing some nice poses. When it comes to the tier on this, I originally made the standard Calamity Gold. That's because nothing beyond gold existed back then. I made the Ale Calamity Platinum, and honestly, I would go the same again as far as no real grade 1/100 kits like this. As far as they're really concerned, this still is as nice as they are. This is as good as they get. Besides something like the Full Mechanics Aerial, which got Platinum, this, yeah, it's still a good, nice Platinum tier kit. It looks great, it feels very, very good, and the accessories in here are very unique, especially those nice effects for using with those big old swords. Anyway, if you do want one of your own, I got mine through Buy. Link, as usual, is in the description. Make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews, and I'll see you next time. As always, I can't finish this video without special thanks to those who support the channel on the memberships as well as over on Patreon, including Abraxas, Caleb Engelhart, Joe, Orgy59061, Shadow Wolf 179, 10 Soldier YT, and Van Fawn.